Falcons are not going to qualify for the Olympics by beating Equatorial Guinea.
No.
If we beat Equatorial Guinea, we still have one more hurdle to cross.
To cross the final round, yeah.
We meet the winner of South Africa and Kenya. All right. So just to clarify what we said on the show, we gave the impression that if we beat Equatorial Guinea, we are as good as through to the Olympic Games. No.
One more final round.
After beating Equatorial Guinea, we still have one more hurdle to cross, which is meeting the winner of South Africa and Kenya. Yeah, but ideally, if we can knock out Equatorial Guinea, we are. Yeah, I'm sure South Africa or Kenya will not give us that kind of hassle that Equatorial Guinea will give us.
And most Nigerians are already looking forward to playing South Africa already, because Kenya usually, when it comes to women's football, they're really not there. Then the big challenge we are having is Equatorial Guinea. But if you check the statistics, I mean, the African Women's Championship, the Super Falcons have been dominating, and the only team that have been able to break even is actually this Equatorial Guinea. They've won
break our dominance in the African Women's Championship.
That is it. So no other countries have been able to do that. So this is really the big focus. That's why it was really shocking and surprising that the Nigerian Football Federation had to decide at this particular crucial time to tell the coach who took them to the World Cup to actually, you know,
what do you feel about that decision? You think it came too late?
No, I think it wasn't really right. I mean, you know, you still have matches to play this year. Why not just allow him to finish? Then you can decide to make your decision, because they said the contract they gave to him, and he said he wasn't really having a contract anyway. He didn't sign anything. But according to them, it was supposed to end after the World Cup. The World Cup is going to end this weekend. So if it's after the World Cup, was it immediately after the crash out or after the whole World Cup?
No, it's the day your World Cup ends.
And precisely.
The day your World Cup ends.
That's the day you're going to lose.
It was after our game against the US.
So that's when World Cup ended. So that's the end of it. I was thinking, okay, fine. Immediately after that, that was like on the 18th or 17th, thereabout. But you didn't do that. You had to wait till this very time to say, okay, you can't continue. Let your assistant, you know, step in. And check the numbers of players the assistant Danjuma invited. 35. You're having a match on the 18th. You're bringing in 35 players. Why not just go with the ones that you traveled with at the World Cup? Because both of you were there. 23. 24, yeah, 24, okay. 23. I mean, you can use the first 18. I mean, the regular ones that actually played.
Most of them are home-based and Port Harcourt, so we can always bring in and ship out and bring in and ship out.
Really? How many days do you have? I mean, we're talking about 18th. We're talking about how many days from now? Today is July 1st. Precisely. Why bring in 35 players? That's my point. For a game you're having on the 18th.
Your whole complaint now is that we're bringing too many players, 35.
Precisely. 35 players for a game on the 18th. And of course, today is July 1st now. And you don't. And they said they were supposed to resume camp, but no, you don't have players in camp yet. I'm thinking it's going to be from next week. That's when most of the players will start coming in. So what time do you now have to prepare? So if you know you already know these guys, you were with them at the World Cup, you know the players that can actually
bring something to the
precisely
table.
So why not just bring them in, and that's it. Instead of you bringing in 35, you start doing trial and error and all that, then before you now finally pick. And you have a lot of new girls inside, those ones that didn't go to the World Cup. You have a Feti Kide, she wasn't at the World Cup, from Sweden. She's in this particular Cup. You have Tochukwu Olohe, the goalkeeper that was dropped. She's also here. So these are the players that didn't travel with them, and you're not bringing all of them.
You still have a Bube White, you still have
all of them. Precious Dede, Sandra Chichi was also brought back. 4 goalkeepers. I mean, it's just maybe
the coach. You know, let's give the coaches the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Sometimes they want goalkeepers to just come around to put the other keepers on their toes. Like,
and how many days? Like 14 days.
Well, anything can happen. But let's talk about. You've been picking out stories. Why did they do Nokon? Why was he fired? The initial plan was that he would just finish the qualifying games for the Olympics, and then maybe we'll get a coach and all of that. Why was he fired? A lot of stories have been flying around.
Okay, some funny story. I would say they're actually funny, not confirmed. Some were saying that he was actually fired because they felt he was rude to insubordination to some Nigerian Women's League. You know, that there was actually a day when he came to, when they were training, and he expected him to stop the game and attend to him. He didn't do that, and they finished the training and all that. These are all speculations around. People felt because of unconfirmed report that that's the reason he was actually asked to go. And the question I now ask, if that was the case, I mean, why can't you just wait a little while? Why can't you just wait a little while? Because we knew immediately Nigeria left the scene. Usually somebody will take the fall for whatever happened to a particular team when you don't perform so well. Another thing is, he was saying he wasn't really having a contract and all that.
Let me take you on, because you have also seen Edwin O'Connor at close quarters. How quickly things change. We were commending Edwin O'Connor last year when he led these girls to the African Women's Championship. We were commending him because he wasn't making an issue of money. The girls were not paid. There was no, the motivation was low. There was no money, no allowances. It was not coming. he kept the team together. And I remember on this show, we were commending him that he didn't make money the center of what he was doing. He didn't have a contract. He's been in acting capacity on match-to-match bonus all these years.
Well, Tony, I think while we commend Edwin Okon, but I think the onus still lies on him to make sure that he puts details of the working conditions in black and white. You know, you have to demand for your rights, and if you continue in that trend that let us play, let us bring glory to the country, you know, the past events have shown that by the time you win a tournament, you know, they won the African Women's Championship. There were promises to host them.
That the former president will receive them.
It didn't hold, you know. So, but what you can hold is the contract you sign with the Nigerian Football, and there's no contract.
There's no contract.
There's no contract. So if you don't have any contract,
all these years of work,
you cannot take any action against your employers.
No, all these years of work is just gone.
But that's the obvious implication. That's the obvious implication.
All these years of work is...
That's the obvious implication, unless on compassionate grounds that maybe the Football Federation will decide that, okay, we have to pay this guy. He has worked, you know, without complaining. But, you know, looking at it from a legal point of view, you can't take action against the Federation. Because
you don't have a contract.
Because you don't have a contract. So the coaches must insist.
Like that also was in place for Uche Ukeria. Yeah. She worked so many years, just verbal,
yes,
continue.
The coaches must insist. You know, there was a foreign coach in this country who coached one club, you know, and when we asked him, he said the difference between the other club and the one he coached at that time was that he got so much money, but there was no contract. You know, each day he demanded for contracts. They kept on saying,
"Is it not your money that
you're interested?" Then he had another job. There was contract and there was no money.
So which one do you want?
So which one did you prefer?
The money or the contract?
But in this case, Ukraine neither got enough money nor the contract.
Really
so
sad.
It's a sad thing for him.
Really sad.
Very
sad. Really sad.
It's back to his job, Rivers Angels.
It's back to Rivers Angels now?
Because it's the coach is still there, so definitely that's where he's going to go to. It's just sad that I just hope and pray that NFF gets to give him severance pay or something like that, because he really tried.
But it depends on if that is in the contract.
That's one. He didn't really. I mean, even precisely he has worked. I mean, African Women's Championship. We didn't win it the last time. We didn't win it, and we didn't qualify for the All African Games.
3 million naira a month, and we didn't win it. Now this man came, no contract, he won it, and then it's just gone. Wow. And also qualified us for the All African Games. So he has qualified us for two.
No, but
I mean, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
But I think, just like you said, Nigerian coaches should just learn this. If you're signing if you want to coach any club at all, no matter how small it is, come on, just do it. Because sometimes when you don't, at the end of the day,